Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about science and how to incorporate science whether you have 1 or 3 kids or 4 or more, and just using some of the basic things that you have already at home. So if you don't have something, don't stress out. If you want to pick up some of the books or resources on Amazon, maybe have at it, but it's not required. And we have a student here with us today, a very hairy student. So he's here, he's ready to listen, he wants to be in the video. Okay, let's get started. So one of my favorite science resources is Mystery Science. It's an online website, and it incorporates like basically how to or why is about everything. These are the questions that all the kids may have. How is a rainbow made? Now, this is a free resource. There is a paid one and then there's a free one, but if you go to the main page, then you're going to see which ones are offered, which ones are free and which ones are for pay. So I like, because I'm not using it exclusively, I just kind of go in there and pick up some lessons, and if you sign up with them via email, they'll just send you mini lessons free. And so that's kind of what I do. So I just kind of go and see the different lessons that they have, and I'll just click on whichever my kids find interesting that day. So it's pretty easy, and I love it because it comes with everything you need. So if it's giving you a particular, let's click on this one. If it's talking, it gives a video, and if it requires some worksheets, it will provide the worksheets for you. It's all there for you. It's really, really neat. You don't need to prep. So that's a really fun place to go. Okay, Another resource that I like to go to is our faithful YouTube. I love YouTube. Here's another, and there's so many different YouTubers out there with great content for science projects. I happen to like the Dad Lab because, again, he uses a lot of things that we might have at home, or we might just watch them because they have other kids and they do really cool science projects. Yay, we've actually done that. It's super fun. And again, it doesn't take all day long, and it's basically things that you probably already have at home. So for that reason, I love YouTube to do some of those science projects. So those are fun. And some other ideas that I have are, for example, a nature journal. This is one we did last year, and I basically just did this one myself at home. I just printed this page, I made these little questions or data that they can enter, the date, the time, the weather, the temperature, the wind, the location, what I used, what I did, and what I saw or collected. So here we went to a walk in the park, and actually it was Troy's Lake, and he was basically walking around. We got a couple of twigs, some leaves, a feather, and so that's kind of the items that he would list here. What did I use? Well, he was using a magnifying glass to look at things. What I did, I walked around Troy's Lake, what I saw, what I collected, and he would write about what he saw, what he collected here. And then here he would do the illustration. So obviously he didn't finish this page, but you can see how the weather was like, and this is just by observing. Whether you're walking across your block, whether you're in the backyard, if you have your yard's big enough, or if you want to go to a park. This is a really easy way for them to observe and then to enter the data for that day. And again, I just made copies of the same page, and then we just went every day. We were doing this probably, I think, about 6 weeks. And so they attend, they pay attention, but you can, do this either with, if they're examining something in particular, maybe you have a couple of rocks outside, or some feathers or leaves, or whether you actually have them walk around somewhere. This is really easy to create, and then just all the kids can do it, and you'll see how each one is going to vary. If you have a really little one, maybe he can't write yet, well, you can let him draw it, but the older ones can write it out. So that's kind of neat. So that's our nature journal. Another thing you can do with them is do a science or a nature sketchbook. And you can either go outside and study the different things in nature, or if you happen to have some books, or if you can always look some of these pictures up online just so that they can attend. They can be looking at these particular creatures, animals, nature, and then they would draw it. They would draw it in one of these books. Whether you have one of these, you know, a little sketchbook where they actually sit there and draw it. Maybe you have a, you know, just a little book laying around the house. Maybe that composition book that your kid never finished from the year before. So this is Roxton's. This is from last year. And instead of just tossing it out, we just use, maybe not this book, it's all wet, but we just use the leftover books because, you know, it's really good to just utilize everything you have around the house. So he happened to come home with several incomplete books and we still use them. So you can make that into your little science journal, you know, while the kids are home. And if they really enjoy it, then you can, you know, buy them the bigger sketchbook and see how they enjoy it. But again, you can go outside in nature or look up some books if you happen to have them around your house, or just go online, Google some pictures that they can draw. So that's our sketchbook. And finally, for science, we use this in our CC community, or CC is our homeschool co-op group. And I really like it because it incorporates the different science projects. It goes from astronomy, biology, chemistry, earth science, physics, and it's just basically projects that you do at home with items that you already have at home. Now I know that a lot of the stores are closed, but maybe Amazon will have this, or it could be something similar to this. It doesn't have to be exact. Any science book that talks about experiments with things around the house that you can use will work just fine. So, I hope those were helpful. Again, these are science activities, projects that you can do at home with all your kids. And if you want to do different ones for different you know, level of your kid, then you can do that too. You can separate them and do them different, but this is just another fun way to be together with all your kids, to do something, to learn science, and especially during this time that we don't have so many busy things to do outside, it'd be a great time for them to learn to just be calm and attend and observe, pay attention, because we have this beautiful thing called nature right outside our door that we can pay closer attention to, draw it, and just have a little bit more appreciation for it. So I hope you enjoyed that. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I hope you're enjoying this, and stay tuned for the next one.